another 10 years worth of life. All right, so today we're gonna be replacing the battery on my Nintendo Switch. Now this is the kit that I got on Amazon. If it works out for me, I'll put the link in the description, that way you guys can get it. The kit seems to be pretty complete. It comes with all the tools you're gonna need: the screwdrivers, the Phillips and the tri screws that you're gonna need, the battery, suction cup to get stuff out, prying tool, stuff like that, like cleaning utensils, the little thing to pry it off. So it looks like it's pretty complete, but I guess we'll wait to see at the end, see if everything's gonna work out great. So this battery comes with the kit and it's like under 20 bucks. So for starters, we're gonna take out the Joy-Cons. We're gonna put them right there. So here it is. We're gonna start off by flipping it. We have 4 tri-screws here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have this screw here to take off. And then right here on the ends, we're gonna take off the middle and the middle. And at that point, the cover should pop off. The ones here in the corner are what they call tri screws or something like that. Kit comes with 2 different sizes, 1.5 and a 2.0. I'll see which one kind of fits better. So this one fits better, so it'll be a 2.0, just in case you guys do get it. You want to make sure that whenever you take this off, you're pushing down on it to make sure that you don't strip it. Now the 4 screws, we're going to put them off to the side, making sure that we don't lose them or anything. There's definitely more pressure on this side than the other sides. And I made a video about this, like a short video. But just in case you need to know, this is the reason why I'm replacing it. You can see here the battery is already bulging up. And then if you kind of hold it up to the side, you can kind of see it bulging up here too. Now, I hadn't even noticed this. I only noticed it because I've got my Nintendo Switch 2. So this one I was going to retire it, just kind of put it up on my shelf. And when I took it off of the dock, like it seemed a little bit hard to get it off of the dock. So it was swollen up so much that on the dock itself, it was kind of like hard to slide out. And I was like, wait a minute, that's not normal. And I noticed that. Now I keep my Switch in the dock all the time. Could it be overcharging and stuff like that? And that's why I did that? Maybe, it's a possibility. But also, this is like the first generation Switch. This is the original, I guess you would call it the launch Switch. So it could just be old. It could just be an old battery. So now we're gonna take off the Phillips screw right here. Screw. Take it off. I'm gonna put this one here, that way I can remember that one's on the top. And on the sides, we're gonna do this middle one right here. Screw. Put it off to the side. I don't know if they're the same or not. I don't know if they're like different lengths. I don't want to risk it. So these are the 2 screws that go on the side right here. Oh, I think there's one here too. Yeah, I think there's one here. We're just gonna go ahead and use this prying tool that he has here. Where's my... Oh, I think I left it on the Switch too. But there's a small screw right there. I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's also a Phillips screw. Oh, here it is. I thought I had taken off the memory card, but I didn't. Damn, this one's smaller. Guys, don't let me forget, that's the one that goes in there, okay? And then these 2 screws right here. So now just the plastic bag should come off. There it goes. Dirty, so we should probably clean this off. Now, I'm a mechanic, right? So I feel comfortable dealing with all this stuff. Now I usually, being a mechanic, the stuff that I use or fix or whatever is much bigger. So now there's this small Phillips screw there. I'm gonna take this off, and then this whole little plate's gonna come up, and then it should be like, there should be like a plug right here, so you should be able to pull it all off. Now whenever we take this off, this is a different color screw. I don't know if you guys can see it, but right here, like it has like a like a dot there and a dot there. So whenever we put it back, this only gonna go in one way. So like that's better for us. We don't have to worry too much about that. So we can pull this up here. And then right here, there's a little plug. So let me take it off. So this is a tiny plug. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. And it gets plugged in right there. So once that's off, we're gonna take off. It has 4 more screws here, here, here. And all we're taking that off is just so we can take off this metal plate here. We want to try to minimize to mess with stuff that we don't have to mess with. If it ain't broken, don't fix it. So you can see this kind of like lift up already because of the battery. There's one screw there. If you don't feel comfortable doing this, do not try this at home. I am not responsible over burned motherboards or whatever. Oh, there's one more screw there. So there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 screws. There's one more screw here. So there was a total of what, 6? Here it is. And there is my battery bulged up, just as I thought. So looking at this battery, we just have the one connector there. So the connector's here. So using the little spatula, whatever you guys want to call it, we're gonna unplug this, and I think you just pull it up. So I'm gonna try to get under these cables here and pull up. There it goes. Battery disconnected. So now we're trying to get, I think there's like tape under this battery. So we're just gonna try to get under it to like pry it up. And we're just gonna try to work it all around. You can hear the adhesive, I think it's called. Kind of like whenever you're taking off tape, you can hear it coming off. So from what I'm seeing from this kit, this little spatula that they give us, it's a little too flimsy for my taste. So they do have these tweezers. Maybe if I can get this one in here so I can help it up. So what I'm trying to do is trying to get this thing like under the battery and kind of hit on the tape. Now you want to be careful because we have the screen right here, so you don't want to pry too much like onto the screen. You don't want to pry inwards. So what I'm trying to do is pry up and slowly, because also I don't want the tape, the adhesive that comes with the battery to kind of like mess up the screen somehow. Funny thing is that after I'm done with this switch is just gonna stay probably on the shelf. I don't expect to turn it on anytime soon. Probably if I go somewhere on a trip or something. I just cannot let this switch, after all the joy it gave me, I can't just let it die there. So we're giving it a new heart. You can see the adhesive on the bottom. See, it's loose already. This is the tape. I mean, this is the battery, old battery. So it looks like this thing is so stuck in there that like the bottom cover of this kind of like stayed there or whatever. So I'm gonna try to take it off. I can probably leave that adhesive there and use it for the next battery. So now this is the new battery. The connector is right there. But like I said, this is still there, so I feel comfortable since I'm not gonna use it too much. I'm okay with leaving this there. So I'm just gonna put this one here on top, see it perfectly, and then turn this around so we can connect it. There we go. So we need to, when you put it on, you gotta bend it like backwards. I guess that's the best way I can describe it. Something that that I'm noticing, so the connector goes in only one way, right? So you want to make sure that when the way that you took it off, you put it back on. So the ground wires, the black wires are going to go on the right hand side, closer to the battery, and then the power, the red, is going to go closer to the left. Battery has been replaced. Now time to put everything back on. As a review of this toolkit, I would say is very affordable. Comes with the battery and the tools. This thing is a little flimsy, so it will help you, but depending on how stuck your battery is, you probably might want to get something harder. This also helped me, but like I said, something harder would probably be even better. So now to put on back our screws that we had here, 2.0 Phillips screw here. My switch had 6 screws. Of course, I did as much research as I could to see if this was something that I could tackle myself, or did I need to pay somebody to do this. I saw a couple of people that their switches only had 5 screws to take off. Mine had 6. The screw that I think that was extra in mine is, I believe it was this one, because I saw the other ones had like 4 in one each corner, and then this one, mine had this one too. So just make sure that you're very careful taking off when you're putting the screws back on or taking them off, to double check it before you start prying on whether it's the metal plate or the casing or anything. Make sure that all the screws are off. Let's make sure that we put all the screws back on. I made a video on how to replace the antenna receiver on my Wii U. I've made a video on how to replace the power cord adapter on my son's 3DS, I believe, at the time. I just remembered that I've made those videos in the past too. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws back on. So now we need to put the flash card or memory card adapter on. So like I said, you have that little connector there. I don't know if it's focusing or not, but then you have the connector that's gonna go in this one right here. Right, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna put it in here and then clip it in place, and then I'll put the screw on. I had to get it closer to my face, but I was able to kind of put it there, and then once you clip it on, you feel the click kind of goes in all the way, and then we're just gonna, like you can see it, it only goes one way because it has the 2 guides, and then we're gonna put that screw there. I believe this one was this one, right? All right, now that that's on, I think that's it. I think now to put this on, all right, so then those are the 4 that go around the corners, and then we have 2 that are pretty big. Those are the 2 that go on the sides. So then we have these longer ones, they go here on the side. Screw, 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 and then we have 3 more, so we have 2 right here. All right, so we need 1 screw here, so we have the 3 screws that's on the top and the bottom. I believe those are all look to be the same size, and then the 2 right here. I am going to assume that if you're doing this, you know that you are most likely voiding off your Nintendo warranty. But like I said, mine is super old. I don't think it matters on mine. So now to put on the 4 screws here, and that for our number 2 pry screw thing, whatever it's called. This switch also has a very aggressive Joy-Con drift. Maybe now that I'm not gonna use it, I can send the Joy-Cons to Nintendo, see if they're still willing to fix them. We're getting close to the moment of truth, the last screw, to see if this project is going to work, or did I just mess up my Nintendo Switch after all the joy it gave me over the years. Did I just RIP? Did the Nintendo Switch leave the chat, or did just the battery leave the chat? We're ready? You can see the drift. I go up and it goes down by itself. But it's fine. Battery has been replaced. Nintendo Switch no longer swollen. This Switch now has at least another 10 years worth of life. I am going to be putting the link to this kit right there in the description. For this, like I said, it was under 20 bucks US. So if you feel comfortable enough doing this, I say it's worth it. So there you goes. So thank you guys. All right guys, as always, don't forget to thumbs up, subscribe, hit that bell for me, share the channel. I will catch you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. You have yourself a great day.